Now, the City of Ekurhuleni has provided an update on its financial performance for Q1. The city says rebuilding its financial position is top priority, and they are determined to pursue that through various initiatives. MMC for Finance in Ekurhuleni Jongizizwe Dlabathi joins us now to talk about their performance in Q1. Thank you so much for your time on the program. Now, you were warned by National Treasury around February that the municipality risks losing funding due to, not being compliant with grants. How would you describe the city's performance so far, having looked at how far you've come to this point?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Precisely, we gave an update to the public about the state of our finances as we committed when we took over the portfolio. And really this forms part of transparency, but generally to update our citizens on where we are. With regards to our performance on the grants that are funded by National Treasury, we can indicate that at least we have spent about 88% of that which was allocated to us for the quarter. And we think that we are on the right track with regards to the spending of the grants. Of course, we would have loved to spend way beyond the 90%. But this being the first quarter, we think we are on the right direction. One of the issues that we are focusing on is the financial discipline on our spending, not only to realize a higher percentage in terms of the grant spending, but there must be value for money, and we must be able to account for each and every cent that we are spending on the ground. So we are moving towards a trajectory where we are really emphasizing that for every cent that we are spending, value must be derived.
So let's talk about the areas of the city's finances that they should basically be focused on.
Certainly the first area is around the revenue collection. As we have indicated in our statement that we did not reasonably perform well, especially on the electricity collection, because we experienced a negative variance of about 24%. And this is one of the concerning areas. Safe to say that in our own diagnostics, we have been able to establish what are some of these areas of weaknesses that have landed us into a negative variance, because ordinarily we should be collecting at least 90% on electricity and of course across all other trade services. So the electricity is one of the pointed areas where we felt we did not perform very well. But we have been able, fortunately, to commission an investigation administratively. And we now know that there are large power users, about 1,900 of them, which really we are billing them on interim. And the likelihood is that we are under collecting because we are not billing them on the actual consumption. So that's the first area. And we will be embarking on a back billing to make sure that we recover the money in that regard. There continues to be a gap, again, on the interim billing, even at the household level, where our average rate tells us that we've billed 73% as opposed to 95%. So the challenge is that if you don't bill accurately, you will always under-collect, and some might actually challenge you on whether or not that which you are billing interim is acceptable. And it's a cause for a concern because it also delays payment due to the fact that people are making queries on that. So we would want to focus on the issue of billing in that at least 95% of the accounts are being billed and really deal with the margin of error of not more than 5%. We are, of course, also struggling with illegal connection, an area that we are paying a closer attention to, especially in the informal settlements, because our analysis is that around 100 million gets to be lost through informal settlement, illegal connection, and of course some of the large power users and household. But illegal connection in the informal settlement is quite rife because literally we are not generating any revenue in that regard. So those are some of the areas we have identified. And we are hoping that as we move into the second quarter and other quarters, we will progressively address that. Of course, there are initiatives that we are putting in place For instance, to resuscitate the culture of payment, because our people, are trapped in the non-payment. And it's purely because we, as the leadership, have not really upscaled the message that says it is important for people to pay for services. And that is one area I am leading as the political head of the finance. The second most important intervention is that at least the council has now approved both the strategy as well as the implementation plan on a revenue enhancement, so that we explore other avenues or other streams that must generate money, as opposed to wanting to focus purely on the trade services, that is water, sanitation, and sewer. But we are saying we appreciate the economic conditions, our people are pressed. What more can we do to generate money? So issues of outdoor advertisement, VAT recovery, releasing of our strategic land parcels in partnership with private sector. Those are some of the areas that our implementation strategy have actually pointed us to as a way of reboosting our revenue.
And Mr. Dlabathi, you also speak of gaps within the revenue collection structures. Does this not speak to some sort of a need to fine-tune those structures to ensure that they're actually functioning effectively?
No, certainly. And that is why I said at least we know where are the weaknesses are. And one of the primary focus we will be looking at is to make sure that our meter reading system is such that it gives us a 95% target. Every account must receive an accurate billing in the city of Ekurhuleni. So we will be massifying meter reading through various initiatives. With the appointment of service providers, also using our Siyakhokha Siyathutuka brigades, we have also put an online platform for people really to register on our Siyakhokha platform, where in fact they can be able with ease to submit their own readings into the municipality. So those are the multiple initiatives that we are focusing on. And as I said, we are optimistic that we know where is the problem, and we are now putting clearer interventions to deal with the gap.
All right, that's of course MMC for Finance in Ekurhuleni, Jongizizwe Dlabathi, joining us there. Thanks very much indeed for your time on the program.